You slip out of your mother, somewhere in the Arctic Ocean. The moment you're free, she pushes you upward with her head, and you break through the surface for the first time. You open your blowhole and pull in air, and the cold hits your body all at once. Your mother stays close beside you with her body blocking the current while you take another breath, and then another, until your lungs stop burning. Around you, 10 other narwhals float in a loose group, all of them watching as you try to swim. Your tail moves side to side, but you're slow and your movements are clumsy. The pod starts moving forward, so you follow, kicking hard to stay near your mother's side. Then something large appears at the surface ahead. A polar bear swims along the edge of the ice with its head above water and its front legs pulling it forward. The pod drops under all at once, diving deep into the dark, and you go with them. But your lungs are still small and you can't hold your breath as long, so after a few seconds, your chest starts to tighten. You stop kicking and start to drift, but then your mother turns back and pushes you toward the surface again. You break through and gulp down air while the rest of the pod waits below. Your mother returns to you and rolls slightly to one side. You know what to do without being taught, so you press close to her belly and find the slit where milk comes out. You drink while floating beside her, and the liquid is thick and fills your stomach quickly. The pod starts moving again, and you stay tucked against your mother's side. You're learning fast that the surface is where you breathe, but it's also where the danger waits. You're 3 weeks old now, and the pod is getting ready to dive. The adults start going under one by one, dropping down into the deep water where the fish hide, and you want to follow. So you take a breath and push yourself down after your mother, kicking hard to keep up with her tail. But the deeper you go, the more your head starts to hurt. The pressure builds around your skull and pushes against your ears, making everything feel tight and wrong. You try to keep going, but after a few more seconds, you can't take it anymore, so you turn around and swim back up to the surface. You break through and breathe while the rest of the pod keeps going down without you. Now you're alone at the top with nothing around you except open water. You float there for a while, turning in slow circles and waiting for someone to come back. Then you try again, diving down just far enough that your head doesn't hurt, and after a few seconds you come back up. You do this over and over, each time going a little deeper and holding your breath a little longer. After a while, your mother comes back up with a small fish in her mouth. She swims toward you and drops it, and the fish tries to swim away, but you chase after it and bite down on its body. Your teeth don't go all the way through at first, so you bite again, and this time it works. That's your first real meal. Then you hear something in the distance. It's a sound that moves through the water in sharp bursts, and the whole pod goes completely still. You stop moving too and stay frozen next to your mother while the sound gets a little closer, then stops, then fades away. You're getting stronger every day, and soon you'll be able to follow the pod all the way down to the bottom, where the real food is. Skip forward a bit, and you're 4 months old now. The surface above you is starting to freeze over, and every day there's less open water to breathe from. The pod moves slowly through the ocean, searching for gaps in the ice, and you follow close behind your mother with your tail pushing hard to keep up. Then you reach a spot where there's only one small hole left. The entire pod gathers around it, and everyone takes turns going up to breathe. You wait your turn, watching the adults push their heads through the opening one at a time, but then a large male swims in front of you and blocks your way. He goes up and takes his breath, and by the time he's done, another adult has already moved into position. You need air badly, so you try to push forward, but there are too many bodies in the way. Your lungs start to burn and your vision begins to blur, so you swim in circles under the ice, trying to find the hole again. But everything looks the same and you can't tell where the opening is anymore. Then your mother appears beside you and pushes through the group, making space for you to follow. You shoot upward and break through the surface, pulling in as much air as you can before someone else takes your spot. After a while, the pod moves on and you follow them under a long sheet of ice. Some of the adults swim upside down and scrape their backs against the frozen surface above, and you copy them, rubbing your own back on the ice as you glide underneath it. You're 1 year old now, and the pod is diving deeper than you've ever gone before. You take a breath at the surface and follow them down, kicking your tail as fast as you can to stay close. The water around you gets darker with every second, and after a few minutes, you can't see anything at all anymore. But you can still hear the clicks coming from the adults ahead, so you make your own clicking sounds and listen to the echoes that bounce back, showing you where everyone is. Then the clicks start changing, bouncing off something large and flat below you. The pod slows down and spreads out, so you do the same, sending out more clicks to figure out what's down there. It's a fish, a huge one lying on the ocean floor, and you watch as one of the adults swims down and swings his tusk at it. The tusk hits the fish's body hard, making it go still for a moment, and then the adult grabs it with his mouth and starts eating. You want to try the same thing, so you swim down toward another fish and swing your tusk at it, just like you saw. But your tusk is still too small and the hit is too weak, so the fish just moves away slowly without being stunned at all. You try again, swinging harder this time, but the result is the same. Then another adult comes down and hits the same fish properly, stunning it in one strike, and you quickly swim in and grab it before anyone else can. The meat fills your mouth, and you tear off a piece, swallowing it whole. As you're eating, you notice other shapes moving nearby. They're belugas, white whales that make different sounds than your pod does, and they're hunting in the same area. Both groups keep their distance and keep feeding without coming too close to each other. Skip forward, and you're 4 years old now. Your tusk has grown to over 3 feet long, and you're swimming alongside 2 other young males who have tusks about the same size as yours. You watch as they move closer to each other and touch their tusks together, rubbing them gently and making soft clicking sounds while they do it. You want to join in, so you swim toward the one of them and angle your tusk until it meets his. The 2 of you slide your tusks back and forth against each other, and it feels strange but not painful. Then he pushes a little harder, so you push back, and suddenly both of you are pressing with all your strength. Then you hear a cracking sound. You pull away quickly and run your flipper along your tusk, and when you do, you can feel a small split running down one side. Your tusk is filled with nerves that run all the way through it, so even a small crack like this sends pain through your entire head. You back away from the other male and swim off to the side of the group. After a while, you look around at the older males in the pod, and you notice that almost all of them have broken or cracked tusks, but they're all still hunting and eating without any problems. The crack will heal over time, but it's a reminder that your tusk is both your best tool and your biggest weakness. You're 9 years old now, and your tusk has reached 7 feet long, with a spiral pattern running down its length and scars marking where old cracks have healed. You're swimming with a group of males when you spot a pod of females passing nearby with several calves following close behind them. The males around you notice too, so all of you start moving in the same direction at once. 3 other males reach the female pod first, and you follow right behind them. You need to show that you're strong and mature enough to mate, so you lift your tusk straight up out of the water and wave it back and forth in the air. Then you pick one female and start swimming after her. She moves away from you quickly, so you speed up and stay right behind her, following every turn she makes. The chase goes on for several minutes until finally she starts to slow down, and when she does, you move up beside her and press your body against hers. The mating happens fast, and then it's over. She pulls away and swims back toward the other females with the calves. You won't see her again after this, and there's no way to know if she'll have your calf or not. You're 15 years old now, and the pod is spread out across a wide area of ocean, hunting for fish near the bottom. You're on your own about 100 feet away from the nearest narwhal, sending out clicks and listening for echoes that tell you where the halibut are hiding. Then you hear something different, a series of sharp calls moving through the water that don't belong to your pod. You stop clicking and go completely still, and a few seconds later, you see them. 5 orcas swimming together in a tight group, and they're moving fast with their eyes scanning the water for targets. So you turn and kick your tail as hard as you can, but one of them breaks away from the group and comes straight toward you. You change direction and head toward the pack ice in the distance, racing toward the frozen area where the orcas are too big to fit through the narrow gaps. The orca gets closer and you can see its mouth opening, so you kick harder and twist to the side just as it lunges. Its teeth catch your tail fluke and tear through the flesh, ripping a large chunk away and sending blood into the water. Eventually, you come out and find other members of your pod who also escaped, and you all swim together slowly while your wound starts to close. The next time you hear orca calls, you'll know exactly how fast you need to move to survive. You're 25 years old now, and the ice is forming faster than it usually does. The pod has been following the open water as it shrinks, looking for a path that leads out to the deeper ocean. But every direction you swim ends in solid ice. You need air, so you swim to the surface and push your head through the opening, taking a breath before another narwhal bumps you aside. You go back down and wait, then come up again a few minutes later and fight your way through the bodies to get another breath. This goes on for hours, then days, and the whole time the ice keeps closing in. You try to find a way out by swimming under the frozen surface in every direction, sending out clicks and listening for echoes that might show an opening. But every time, the clicks bounce back from solid ice with no gaps anywhere. So you return to the breathing hole and push your way to the surface again, but there are too many narwhals trying to breathe at the same time, and you miss your turn. Your lungs start to burn and you try to push through the group again, but your body is too tired from days without rest. You kick your tail trying to reach the surface, but the movement is weak, and you start sinking instead. The other narwhals keep fighting above you. Your body goes still and your eyes close. Above you, the other narwhals are still struggling at the breathing hole, taking turns gasping for air through the shrinking gap. Your body drifts down through the water with your tusk pointing up toward the ice that sealed you in, and by the time spring comes and the ice breaks apart, you'll be resting on the ocean floor where the halibut swim. Life as a narwhal might be rough, but there's another animal out there that has it way worse. Trust me, it's wild. Check out the video and see for yourself.